Hello family and friends, this is Rob the Sapper gardener representing Essayons Family Garden, and I'm going to do some chop and drop today. It's a nice day, slightly overcast, not too hot, a perfect day to me to put on my Back to Our Roots sweatshirt, hoodie, and today we're going to be using some of our burdock as a chop and drop. Burdock is a great, huge flat leaf plant. There are other plants that we can use for chop and drop besides the burdock, like our rhubarb, our comfrey, horseradish, any large leaf plant like that. You can strategically use it, but for us today, our burdock needs to be cut back because our composting bucket system, the burdock in one of the spots has just completely overgrown it and hidden it away. So we're going to get that done. We're going to use it to mulch some of our garden beds, and we're also going to use some of the burdock to mulch around some of our tomato starts that we've taken out. So I mentioned a few weeks ago in a video that we're growing our burdock and we're going to let it go to seed. This is the second year for it, and burdock is a biennial, so it will produce seeds this year, but burdock can be very it can grow up to be very large. It can take over the garden. It's a large plant. It can get up to 6, 7, 8 feet. So what we're doing now is we're going to use some of the leaves as a mulch. If you can see, we've already got a couple of bucketfuls already, and what we'll do is we'll spread that flat on top of soil where we don't want other plants popping up, and it'll break down and it'll feed the soil. And what we'll do, depending on how much we need to backfill into a bed, we'll either lay cardboard over the burdock after it's broken down and then add some soil on top, or if it's almost full, then we'll just add a thin layer of soil on top to fill it up. So I've already trimmed a lot of the plants. I still have more, but we don't want to trim the plant so much that it can't flower. So we're taking off probably about 60-70% of the leaves. We're leaving the main stalk of the plant here. I'll flip you guys around just for a second. So we're taking off probably about 60-70% of the stalks around the main stalk, but we're going to leave that so it can concentrate on producing seeds in this plant. Later in the year, it'll produce some seeds for us. We'll collect those and then we'll save them, and we'll use those so that we can be as self-sustaining as possible. I've done this one, I've done this one, and I've done 3, I believe, over in one of our other beds, if you can see it through the chicken coop. And I'll just keep bringing that back. Hopefully each year we'll have burdock, and every other year we'll collect seeds. And maybe once we get a better rotation of it, we'll be able to collect seeds every year. We may try that instead of doing the every year thing. And some of the burdock we'll just chop and drop in place. Once we come in and we collect seeds, we'll harvest the roots from any of the plants that we have, and then we'll put down something else in place of it. So for the tomatoes, we just take some leaves, we cut them up into shapes that'll fit, and it's not rocket science. We don't try to make things too perfect. We just want it to suit the task at hand. The burdock leaves will stop bacteria and organisms from splashing up on the tomato plant when it rains, and as it breaks down, it'll add nutrients into the soil. And my oldest son has done a good job out here protecting our tomato plants. So we got one bed over here that I'm gonna turn around and show you. This bed, we know we will need to top off some because it's only about half full now. So we'll lay the burdock leaves in here. We'll let them start to break down a little bit, but we'll weed it, and hopefully we won't get weeds like we have down there popping up through it. We'll probably leave the garlic and figure out how to, well, one good thing about the burdock, it's like paper. We can tear it, so if there is a plant in there we want to leave, we can leave it. But we're going to finish filling this up with burdock, leave it for a week or so till it starts to break down. We want to be careful. I don't think we can spread the burdock by root division, but we don't want to take any chances. So I'm going to go ahead and get another bucket full in there and get back to some more garden work. So we got one bucket empty, so this is basically 2 buckets of burdock to put down as a organic mulch, and hopefully this will help suppress weeds in this bed. We do use the burdock leaves, we do eat those in addition to collecting the roots, but the best burdock leaves for eating are the younger, more tender ones. Once they get larger, yeah, they're not as good. They're still edible, but not as tasty and not as tender. So one bed down, we got a few more, and we got plenty more burdock leaves over there to trim off to use. So we got a lot of crows out today, so hopefully you can hear me over them. But real quick video, just wanted to show you guys how we use some of the items we grow. We do grow for consumption. We want to eat healthy, nutritious food, but we also try to use everything we can in every way possible. We use some of our scraps to feed our chickens. We use some of it to make compost. We use some of it so nothing goes to waste. So real quick video, I'm gonna get back to work. It's early on a Saturday morning when I'm recording this, and I've got a ton of stuff to do before Monday. So as always, this is Rob, the Sapper gardener, representing Essayons Family Garden, saying God bless our great country, America, and God bless you wherever you reside around the world. Take care. Sapper out.